But I am excited to be here. I'm grateful to be here. I had a little bit of an opening in my schedule. And I thought, let me just jump up here and we'll get with Julie and see if we can do some things. So I appreciate Julie very much being here, and all of you, the leaders, everybody that's here. Obviously, I think we're making a pretty good difference in how we're rolling things out, going through some turbulent times. It's not just us, you know. I think commitment is a very good topic. I think it's relevant and it's timely for us. As a matter of fact, the other day my wife said I should be committed, so we'll see where that one goes. Julie, I like what you said about commitment. I'm grateful that you kind of opened this whole topic up for me, and I think that I'd like to talk a little bit about commitment with Onpassive and some of the other traits and where we've been and where we're going in a very broad sense. And I think it should probably fit right in with what you were saying. So thank you so much, everybody, for having me here. We're in some uncertain times, you know, and the entire journey of Onpassive has more often than not been marked by our excitement, lots of innovation, certainly with a lot of promise. However, economic turbulence can quickly turn the tide on anything. It can cause unexpected delays and hardships, challenges with any company. And in scenarios like that, it's crucial that we draw in and draw together on our inner strength, our resilience, and our determination, which is a close cousin, if you will, to commitment, so that we can ensure that we all stay the course and we don't lose anybody in the wake of what's happening. And in particular, at times like this, I think we should probably need to notice or to know at least three things about following our heart, how important that is, maintaining our motivation, that's important, and as Julie has just finished talking about, how we should be at least trying to continue with a commitment during and going through uncertain times. Now, right out of the gate, we all know what it is to follow our heart, I'm sure, if you've been in Onpassive for any length of time. But by this, I'm talking about going after our passion, right? Those things that get us excited. Believe it or not, the whole world is going that way. And by that way, I mean it's heart-led. The whole world is also, on the other hand, experiencing some rather turbulent times, whether we're talking about medicine or education or politics or industry or education, finance to be sure, or any other system that we've got. They're all seemingly in trouble, giving us grief, if you will, right? And some of us have some things going on true. So there's some things going on with a lot of us as individuals, and it's certainly true for Onpassive. And the stormy times that we seem to be going through right now have already yielded some very unexpected, shall I say, results, things we didn't count on or see a year ago. And that's true enough, and we're struggling a little bit to kind of understand it all. And so it is in times like these, it is kind of easy to lose sight of our original vision and the passion that Mr. Mufareh came out with early on that drove Onpassive's inception. He talked a little bit about that today. You had indicated I've been here since 2018, Joyce, and I mean, how many of us remember those early years, right? How many of us have been here 4 or 5, going on 6 years even, right? It was by the end of 2019 that we actually developed some real heart. And it's precisely that heart-centered approach that created the momentum that we felt to start with. And it's going to be that heart-centered approach and that very same momentum that's going to be guiding the company through this storm, or this at least this foul weather we seem to be in. And by staying true to the core values and the mission and vision of Onpassive, we can certainly tap into its collective purpose with all of us, its meaning and its value. So first thing is first, right? We got to be following our heart. Now, beyond that, we also need to look at something called motivation. A lot of folks think motivation is a beginner or something you do right at the start of something. But actually, motivation is an end attribute because we have to do things that leave us in a motivated state. So motivation is somewhere where we rest at, right? And as such, motivation can actually be an anchor, so to speak, that holds us very steady when we're in quote unquote rough waters. Even if we have to ride the storm out in place, which sometimes you'll see, when we're expecting big storms, people will take their boat out and anchor them so they don't get beat up on the shore or the rocks of the pier or whatever. So sometimes we just got to ride it out in place. Motivation helps us to do that. Motivation in this sense can help us to stay in a grounded kind of a way, if you will, and help us to stay focused on what we're looking at. But it's something we got to work at too. It's simple, but it's not always easy, and it's done on a continual basis by celebrating lots of things, big things, small wins, acknowledging progress is being made, recognizing individual contributions like you were just doing, Joyce, all of which can help strengthen and maintain morale, and all of which helps us to weather the storm, so to speak. I mean, we're all leaders of one sort or another, at least, so it's up to us to foster a culture of positivity and open communication and empathy so that we know everybody is feeling supported, motivated, and being able to carry through and carry on rather than to be sitting on the fence or worrying maybe I should jump off on the other side of the fence, that sort of thing. Now, another thing that we really should be taking a look at, Julie talked about, and that is commitment, right? Commitment in this whole scenario or metaphor of water and storms, if you will, can be our North Star in a way, because commitment gives us that point that's way out in the distance, right, that we focus on. We keep focused on that point that's out there, and this little stuff that we're going through seems to be less because we've got something that we're focused on. It shows us our why. It helps to illuminate the pathway through these uncertain times and helps us to understand, okay, why am I going through all this? Because I've got this thing up here ahead that I'm looking at. That commitment gives us the focus and the drive that we need to make sure that we're staying the course, so to speak. Now, regular communication with others and adaptability and all that comes into play with that, keeping a willingness. Mr. Mufareh has demonstrated this time and time again, where he'll shift or pivot depending on what the market does or what's called for. And these things are necessary, and they'll help each of us to be strengthened, and we can, with all of these things that we're talking about, successfully navigate just about any challenge that comes up. Now, a little bit ago, we said, that these are very politically and economically turbulent times for the entire world. And Onpassive is affected by that just as much as any other company is or would be. And we've recently hit a rough patch of waters, right, in a way. But that's all it is. It's just a rough patch, and it's to be expected. A lot of it we saw, some of it we didn't. But you know what? We're not down and out. Ash has made sure of that. We've got a heart and a compassion, and we've got a plan, and we know where we are, and we know how we got here, and we know what to do to get back on course. Ash has got this all wrapped up into a neat little bundle, and now it's just got to play out. But the attacks or the challenges that we've endured, they've made us wiser, they've made us stronger, and, well, in a word, we're a lot more committed. That commitment that we've got, right, that Mr. Ash has laid out in front of us, it guarantees that there's no power on earth that's going to squelch or diminish, in a word, Onpassive's passion or commitment to us or to the rest of humanity. I mean, we are the world, and the world is us. And by following our heart, by staying motivated and being committed to our passions, we can help each other and Onpassive emerge in a much stronger, more resilient way. And in that way, we can be poised for a lot greater success than we would have otherwise done had we not been in this good a shape. Remember, the greatest discoveries, when you're talking oceans and waters and stuff like that, the greatest discoveries lie just beyond the reef, just beyond turbulent, dangerous waters. So stay the course. Let's look out over the waters. Look toward the horizon, and as it comes up on us, we'll just enjoy that beauty. And when we reach that far shore, if you will, then we'll see what kind of promises it holds. But other than that, thank you. I appreciate you letting me talk, and I will turn it back to you. Thanks.